Mike about this a little bit in the walk-off, but I was wondering if maybe you could go a little more on Rondo and what it was like to face him as an opponent. I guess there was a play that you guys ran specifically to trip him up.
No, I mean, it wasn't specifically to trick him up. I think we just, called a play. I think it was after a timeout, ATL play. And, I mean, Doe was here last year, so he knows of our plays and know our system and everything like that. And he's very good at scouting the other team plays and players and things like that. So, we ran a play and put him in some action, and then we ended up getting a dunk off of it. A foul. And I told him, I was yelling off the free throw line. Well, I was on the bench, but I was yelling to him and told him, "You haven't seen that one." I said, "That's something new you haven't seen that one." He started laughing. We were laughing. So that was a cool moment.
Dan?
AD, you guys have had really, really successful runs at the start of fourth quarter from that group with LeBron, Trez, Caruso, Harrell. I said Harrell. I'm sorry. THT. You know which lineup I'm talking about. Whatever. It's a lot of guys. I don't want to read all them. Why do you think that group's working so well? What have you seen on the bench in those stretches from that five?
The group plays hard. They're scrappy defensively. Everyone does their jobs. And then the start of fourth, we always got the bench saying, okay, fourth quarter is winning time when it's close games or, we might be down or anything like that. And they do come in and make great plays to start the fourth for us to get us going. And I think tonight we went on an 11-0 run or something like that to start the fourth. We was able to get the lead and kind of maintain that. So that group is a special group. And, it's our job to, come in when that group does its job to finish it off for them and secure the victory. So, that lineup with, like you said, Taylor, Bron, Trez, AC, and sometimes Kuz might be in there. To start that fourth quarter has been a great lineup for us so far this year.
Dave?
Eddie, LeBron said he loves having fans at the games, but I guess having fans at the game could lead to something like that happen in the fourth quarter there. What's your take on it? Is it worth the risk of having stuff like that while the COVID protocol is going on to have fans in the stands? And did you have any thoughts on that brief altercation?
Yeah, one more incident is not going to change the fact that, we love having fans at the game. Whether we're home or away, it just brings back, the game that we love, that joy from the fans and the support and things like that. So it's always fun to, whether it's 500 people or 1,000, 1,500, whatever it is, it's always enjoyable to play in front of, a crowd. About what happened, I don't even think I was in the game yet. I just saw Bron talking, to somebody courtside, and they were talking back. So I'm not sure what exactly happened at the time. And when I walked over there, the referees was already, kind of separating and taking care of it. So I'm not sure what she said or what he said or anything like that. But I know they were talking about, her mask was off to speak or something like that. Which with COVID going on, we obviously can't have that. We want to make sure we always be safe. So it was a crazy little thing, but
we'll take a couple more. Ben Steiner.
Hey, Anthony, congrats on the win. Trae Young, you've gone up for years now. What have you liked about the growth of his game?
He's a crafty player. He's very good at drawing fouls, can shoot the basketball with range. Great free throw shooter. He got a nice floater, getting the paint. So he's tough to guard, and he's small. So he's always, getting around, defenders or, getting in the middle of defenses and picking guys off. But he's a special player in this league, and he's been doing it for a couple of years now.
Terrell Thomas.
AD, congrats on the win this evening. You guys, of course, are coming off of a long road trip, a lot of new pieces as you look to try to repeat this season. So some of your teammates are still getting acclimated. What do you feel like you learned most about your team during this road trip?
We're a team that's going to fight. We're a resilient team. You know, being down and Philly coming back, fighting. We're going to get every team's best shot. And so I think we show our resiliency this trip, and we also show how together we are. While we're still learning each other, not having a lot of practice time, short off season, short in training camp, you know, we're still trying to figure, you know, each other out and figure out, you know, how to continue to grow as a team, while also, you know, saving our legs and things like that. But I think we showed that we're a complete team. We showed that we're very together on the floor, and we showed our resiliency. You know, we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to battle, and you know, we're still learning on the fly while we're getting wins, which is a good thing.
Thank you.
Last question, Tony DeVille.
Hey, AD. You play with Rondo, you know, in New Orleans and here in LA, and you know how he is. Everyone knows he has a reputation of being a player's coach, a coach on the floor. Not sure how much longer he's going to play, but can you see him being a head coach after he's done, you know, playing and being a coach going forward?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always his dream is to be a coach. At the NBA Top 100 camp, he coaches. You know, he's a coach on the floor, even when he's not playing. You know, he's coaching. You know, last year it was, you know, practice, he was coaching. You know, during the game, he's coaching on the floor, he's coaching. You know, he's always learning. He's watching film. So I can definitely see him being the head coach. I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to coach, and he'll make one hell of a coach. You know, he knows the game very well. His IQ is unbelievable, very high. And you know, he gets along with a lot of players. You know, he knows how to talk to players, and he knows who he can be more aggressive with, who he has to, you know, kind of just take it easy on, just kind of, you know, tell him things. But I think he's going to be a great coach in this league if that's what he, you know, end up doing, which I think he will.
Thank you.
Thanks, AD. We're good there.
Thank you. It's over. The longest road trip the NBA this season finishes for the Lakers. 5-2. They played 5 of the 7 top teams in the Eastern Conference. They got a win over the Bucks, the Celtics, Cavs, Bulls, and the Hawks. The only losses came to the back-to-back Sixers and Detroit. AD pretty...
Obviously, you knew you were going to find it at some point, but it was mainly about being aggressive. Rob Horry was talking in the pregame. Once you see that first one go down, just kind of the trickle-down effect and how that can help. What was that like for you to get that first one to fall and then the second and just fall into that groove?
I mean, it felt good just to see the ball go in, even if it was a layup, 3 ball or 2. You know, it just felt good just to see it go through. You know, and tonight I just felt my rhythm was just on point. You know, I was just letting the game flow and just letting it come, let the game come to me instead of like, you know, just staying off the ref. You know, stuff that'll get my mind off just playing basketball.
I was disconnected for the start of this, so I apologize if you already were asked this. But to see Rondo again out there, what was that like?
It was good. You know, it's always fun, you know, seeing Rondo, even though he was on the team last year. You know, you already know what, you know, type of energy he's going to bring. And it was just good to see him. We all had laughs out there on the court. He was doing stuff out there that he did with us last year, you know, just make us laugh. But, you know, it was good seeing him.
Thanks, KCP.
Did anybody take KCP as their take your shot?
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out there, no one heard me, but
yeah.
He needed this game, right? Just get back at it. I like that they were looking for him early.
You know, when you have guys like that, I said it in the pregame show where just get him a play where he can feel the ball go in the net. Get him a layup, because early in the season, they were always running that curl play for him. He got his rhythm, but then they start selling him, you know, just spot up. We'll get you to spot up because you're on the rhythm. And to see him go to the rack and get that layup was a plus for him. And after that, he started shooting his threes. I think this is what he needs. He's going to go home. Now he's going to recharge his battery. He's going to be back being the KCP who was 7 for 10.
That's what good teams do. You know, good teams monitor each other constructively, and they make sure that you're, you know, involved in the game. I remember one year I was like 0 for February. I couldn't hit nothing. I was in a bad slump, and my teammates were the one that got me going. You know, Byron Scott in practice, Coop. Sometimes they joke with you. Sometimes they be passing you the ball when you getting up shots. But good teammates always, you know, keep you engaged and make sure you're a part of it. And I thought LeBron in the first half only, 8, 9 points or something like that. He was trying to get guys involved, Pope, Gasol. And so it's good to see him, you know, see one go through. And then from there, it was confidence.
You know, Kobe did a really masterful job of that later in his career. He would, when they're still kind of close to winning championships, but not quite there, he would try to get everyone else involved, all right? The Lakers weren't what they were. Maybe with the Shaq, Kobe teams, they still had some pretty good pieces. But Kobe would come out, pass, and then all of a sudden that fourth quarter would roll around. You know he's taken like 7 shots in a row. Lakers would win. It reminded me of Kobe a little bit tonight, some of the stuff that LeBron would do for sure.
Guys, the Nuggets are coming up next, so the Lakers return home. It's funny. You go on a long road trip or even like a 4-game road trip, it always seems like that first game back home is a little bit of a struggle. It's nice that they have that extra day off so they don't play till Thursday. But the Denver Nuggets are playing well, 7-3 in their last 10. They just beat Utah, was on a huge winning streak, and Jokic is having an MVP-type season.
Yeah, let's not forget the Lakers 12-2 away from Staples, 4-4 in home games. So they definitely need to work on that a little bit. And Jokic might be the #1 guy in the MVP list so far, averaging a triple-double. Rob's holding 2. Who do you have first? LeBron? No. Oh, yeah, you could have LeBron. Oh, yeah.
Third.
Stop. All right, you know, it's top 3. We just saw Embiid last week. He was good. But Jokic is averaging a triple-double. Usually Jokic, as Chris throws a piece of paper at Rob, this is amazing. Usually Jokic shows up to the season, kind of takes a while to get into shape. Not so right now. Denver started off really slowly, but now they're top 4 in the West.
I'm listening.
Show us what we missed. There you go.
The only reason I say that because this league is getting away from the bigs. I agree with Mr. McGee. Give it to the bigs so we can get some more love as a big. That's all I'm saying, man.
That's left-handed, too.
Knife block.
But, you know, I agree. LeBron is having a heck of a season. You know, he's always improving on something. You can't take anything away from him. But I'm being a realist, just like they did Michael Jordan. They did all the greats. They're not going to give it to him. So I'm just trying to give it to someone that other than that guy.
Yeah.
I know you guys have a lot of respect for this Denver team. Lakers played them in the Western Conference Finals last year. Jamal Murray's a star. Jokic, we just mentioned him. He's an MVP candidate at this point in his career. Always a great matchup.
It is. And, you know, we talk about the most dangerous players in the league. You know, Jokic, you know, LeBron, you know, Trae Young. This guy right here is the most dangerous player in the NBA right now. He can do anything at any time when he wants to on the court. Very efficient, unstoppable, slow as a turtle, but still gets things done at a high effective rate. He is my leading candidate for MVP right now for what he can do. He's extremely smart. You can't defend him. He knows everything that's going on around him. He sees it. He sets you up to make you do stuff so that he can do something else. An exceptionally smart player with lots of talent. One of the old school bigs.
You know, Vogel had a really interesting comment about LeBron after the Boston game. You know, LeBron playing good defense, had a good fourth quarter. And he was asked not really necessarily about the MVP race, but he said something really interesting. He said, you know what? Maybe people are just bored watching LeBron win and kick people around the court game after game after game. It gets boring after a while. You get used to it. You get accustomed to watching a player at such a high level. I like to say he's 36. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. And he and Jokic are definitely probably top 2 for the MVP.
Dennis Schroeder scored 16 points in the victory. He's now speaking with Allie.
Hey, Dennis, I want to start first with you guys as a defensive unit. When you think back to Saturday against Boston, down the stretch defensively, tonight, of course, in that second half, a lot of runs made by the Hawks, but you guys close it out on the defensive end of the floor. What can be said about you guys lately and late game executions defensively and where you want to be as a team?
I think we want to get defensive stops, you know, especially in the fourth quarter. And that's what we've been doing all season, and we try to do it, you know, every game, every night we play. And I think on this road trip we did a great job, you know, just closing out, you know, games.
And I think big part of it, with our group, I think we so defensive minded that you want to get stops. And then, after getting stops, just run and try to get easy points on the fast breaks.
For you all around, offensively, it was an efficient night. Defensively, I know it takes a collective unit with a guy like that of Trae Young, but you drew a large part of that assignment. What was the key to being effective on both ends for you?
I mean, I just got to play my game, don't think, be aggressive. That's pretty much it. On the defensive end, I just try to get some stops, try to pressure, the point guard, try to get him out of his rhythm. And, I mean, he's a hell of a player for sure. And but I think we still, did a good